up, everybody? We are in northern Colorado, if you're wondering. Headed to Wyoming, delivering kind of close to Rock Springs, Wyoming. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Got a call on this load yesterday. I was just chilling at the house in my boxers, and if the money's right, it don't matter to me. I'll do it on the weekend. So this is a hot load. They needed it ASAP. I believe it's 8-inch. What is it? 8-inch casing, or no, 9 and 5/8, 9 and 5-inch casing. It's only 15 joints. It's not even that heavy of a load. It's like 20,000 pounds maybe. Somebody was asking about their windshield washer motor. If it's still not spraying, I mean, is it making the... It should be making that, that noise that... Just check your power and ground to it, and then if it's making the noise, then I would check the lines. That'd be the next thing I would do. I'm glad this load's lightweight, because this truck would be struggling if I was pulling 48,000 pounds. It's just an old Freightliner Columbia with a Cat C13, so she's not built for mountain driving. Pretty. I don't make it up here too often, but when I do, I like to take in the sights, Hard to find parking in northern Colorado, though. I was struggling last night. I found a Love's, but man, it was filled up. But then they had a little cul-de-sac there in the back, and there was like 5 trucks parked in it. And I found a spot just right for me that you couldn't really tell unless you walked back there. I don't know what I was going to do if I couldn't park. I don't sleep very good. How do you check the lines? Well, I mean, I guess you could take the line off from where it connects to the motor and see if make sure it's spraying, and then damn, this is a steep hill, and then disconnect it from the disconnect it from the motor, make sure that the motor's spraying, and then hook it back up. And then if it's not spraying on the other end where the sprayer's at, I mean, if you got some kind of clog somewhere, you could always disconnect it from the sprayer on the windshield wiper too, because there's a possibility that little sprayer could be clogged up. You could always figure out what size hose that is, and just plug in the hose to it, the new hose, and run to your wiper and see if it works then. Yeah, I'm only pulling 20,000 pounds, and this truck got slowed down to 45 miles an hour. So she's just not built for this stuff. It's just a 10 speed. I wish it was a 13. That'd be about right for me. I got about 40 miles till I hit Interstate 80, and then I'm going to cut across, I don't know, probably 120 miles west on I-80, and then head south back into Colorado, and then go back west again. It's a hell of a route. I had to map it out last night. The directions I got took me way around where I was going to be doing like an extra 100 miles. It's like I need to figure out a better way to get in there. Hopefully this way works. Popo. Ah, man. Come on, old girl. Got to slow back down to 50 again. I'm glad they got passing lanes here. I'd have a line of cars, a mile-long line of cars behind me. I haven't figured out where I'm going to stop for the night yet, but I'm thinking I'm just trying to get out of Denver so I don't have to mess with that tomorrow morning. So somewhere east of Denver. And then hopefully Monday I can get on that load board and maybe find something going back to Oklahoma City. I doubt it, because Mondays are usually pretty bad, but you never know. Something might pop up. There we go. Finally made it to the top. Oh, this makes me want to go to Colorado again. Me and my wife went up here a few years back, and at that time, we just rented a car because our car was not trustworthy. So we rented a car. She was doing some work-related stuff for her company up here. And I rented a four-wheeler while she was doing that stuff and just drove around all day. It was fun. Really good roads to drive around too. I can't remember where it was at. It was the foothills of the Rockies, kind of southwest of Denver, maybe, I don't know, 100 miles. I'm bad at remembering the names of these towns I've been to. I've been to so many of them. The road isn't too bad. A little windy up here though, boys. A little windy. Whenever I'm driving on windy days, it makes me glad I don't pull a van anymore. I remember that sometimes. You have to be pulling an empty van or a really light load. Man, knock you around. Hill coming up. These aren't even that steep either. Kind of spotty service out here. It's a pretty steep hill right here. I have to shift down to 8th gear on this one. We'll see. She's holding it in 9th gear right now. Come on, you can make it. Almost to the top. Man, this is beautiful up here. I have a little cafe over there. That's kind of neat. Wonder if it's still open. Probably not. Oh, let's see. The service sucks up here. Well, I'm back. Anybody that's still listening, yeah, the service sucks here. I mean, what do you expect? I'm in the mountains. I was hoping it'd be a little better than this. Oh man, this is rough. Now I'm in Wyoming. Speed limit is 70. Elevation, oh man. much easier drive on the way back being empty. Still going uphill. God, it is windy as hell up here. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but jeez, you can see it with that grass. Boy, it's blowing. Downshift again. Never ending hill. Oh, my ears are popping. Doing 40 mile an hour. Pulling 20,000 pounds. At least that's what I estimated. It might be more. It might be 30,000. I don't know. Definitely not much weight compared to what I normally pull. Gotta go uphill a little bit more. Be able to grab another gear maybe here. And it's 10th gear. More miles till I hit I-80. Hopefully the roads will be a little better on I-80. I've never driven across this part of Wyoming on I-80 before, so I don't really go to the mountains hardly ever. About to hit a downhill slope. I see the sign, 6% grade. Let the Jake brake do the work on this, boys. I want to burn up the brakes. Just let it sink. So windy that the wind is kind of holding me back too. This is southern Wyoming. I literally just crossed into Wyoming. I'm on Highway 287. It connects I-25 to I-80. That way I don't have to go to Cheyenne, and it kind of takes me a little bit out of route if I go that way. So took the scenic route. Pretty, that's for sure. extremely windy up here. Like, if I was pulling a van, an empty van, oh man, I'd be puckered up right now, boys. Because I've done that before. My first year of trucking, I did a lot of driving up and down 25 and across 70 and 80. And yeah, I remember one time, I think it was either 70 or 80. And man, I thought the truck was going to roll. Should have pulled over, but first year of trucking, I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like I had like no power, that if I did that, then I was going to get fired. But looking back, no, I definitely should have just put my foot down and just told them, I'm just not going to do it. I'll get back on the road whenever it's a little less windy. There was a few times, there was a truck in front of me, I remember that he was struggling and his trailer kept blowing, like the trailer was off tracking from the highway like 2 feet. And there was multiple times it looked almost like the tires were like lifting up off the ground, and it scared the crap out of me because I was like, well, my trailer's probably doing the same thing. But now I got a flat top truck with a flatbed, and it's a lot easier to drive in high wind. Don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. Unless I'm pulling, you know, a tall load, which I don't hardly ever do tall loads on this flatbed because most of them just don't pay very much. Tarp loads are pretty low paying. They just aren't worth it. I thought Oklahoma was windy, which it is, but this is like a constant wind. Oklahoma is kind of more like, what would you call that? Where it's not constant, you know, it hits you with some gusts. But this is just, I mean, I got my hand on the steering wheel trying to make sure I don't, because if I just let go of the steering wheel, I'm going to go to the right off in the grass, because the wind will just blow me off in it. So I have to keep constant pressure on the steering wheel. Turn on headlights for safety next 10 miles. Yep. Alrighty. With this load, I'm going to, the closest area is Rock Springs, but even Rock Springs, Wyoming isn't that close to my delivery. The route they gave me takes me straight west on I-80 to Rock Springs, and then you go down this road, probably 5 miles, pretty close to the state line, and then you take this dirt road for like 25 miles, and it goes into Colorado, and then it goes back to Wyoming, and then it goes back into Colorado, and then back into Wyoming. And I was looking at that last night, like, I don't really want to take that route home, because it was like an extra 100 miles compared to what Google's shown me. Google's shown me a better route that is all paved, because the route I'm doing, it's like 25 miles of dirt road. So I'm going to take I-80 to, I forget what the highway is. Anyway, it's 120 miles, and then I'm going to go south for about 30, I think, 30 miles, and then I got to go up north another 4 miles, and there's just nothing close to that area. Like, Rock Springs is probably the closest town, and it's probably, I mean, way it is probably 40 or 50 miles. Yeah, I've never been up this way before. I used to go like back and forth from Denver to Cheyenne quite a bit. My first year of trucking, and I think there was a Lowe's distribution center close to Cheyenne, if I believe correctly. But I never really went west of that. The company I was with, you didn't go west of. You never did get into the mountains. The only way they would send you that way was if you were a lease purchase driver. They had all these extra perks for the lease purchase guys, trying to scam them into lease purchase. And one of them was that California. It's like, that's not really a perk. Looking back, you know. Another perk was that the truck that they would lease you out, that they would lease out to you, had a top speed of 70, and then if you were a company guy, now this was in 2009 when all the trucks were turned down and you could still do paper logs. The company trucks were set at an hour. We were one of the slowest road. I think the only one slower than us was, I want to say Werner was set at like 60 at that point. Super slow. And then once the ELD mandate got put into place, all of a sudden, all those trucks got turned up because no more paper logs. It's all monitored electronically, and yeah, everybody was running behind. Like, well, we got to turn these trucks up. Now I see these, you know, company like Swift and Werner and JB Hunt trucks. They'll be doing 70 or 75. Passing me up, you know, I do about 68, 69. I go any faster than that in this old truck, and man, it's hard on it. It gets really poor fuel mileage when you get up in the 70s. Wind resistance will really get you. At least this truck's somewhat aerodynamic. Pretty good roads though, I like that. They're a lot better than Oklahoma highways. Good service too. Colorado, my service was garbage. Now I'm, maybe it's because it's wide open out here, but yeah, service is a lot better. I always wonder up here what these, and I have no clue on this because I've never talked to anybody about it, so forgive me if I sound dumb, but it's like a fence, but they have like, it looks like pallets almost leaned up kind of at an angle, and they're usually like at the top of the hill. It's like, what are those for? It's to catch like tumbleweeds and stuff, or like, I've always wondered, like, what are those? Because they'll still have a regular fence, but then they'll have those things up there. It looks like some sort of block, a wind block or something. I don't know. 6 more miles till we hit I-80. Boy, it got cold up here, boys. Had to turn off my AC. I left Oklahoma and it was in the 90s. And now I'm up here and it's probably in the 40s up here, maybe the 50s. It was nice though. Last night I turned my truck off, just got my blanket out. I slept good. It's hard for me to sleep with the truck on because I had a really bad experience one time with the truck when it was running. It cracked a head in the middle of the night and the truck died. And then I never will forget that. I was like just sleeping back there. You just feel that shake, you know, when the truck dies. I was like, oh, this ain't good. I'm trying to sleep back here and the truck died on me. And I was in Houston, so it was hot. I was like, man, what happened? Got out of the truck and I looked up in the sky and I saw white smoke all over the sky and I was like, that ain't good. Somebody cracked the head and it just didn't compute. It didn't compute yet. I thought it was somebody else. I was like, that ain't good. And I was like, I looked around my truck. I didn't see no leaks. Like, I don't know. I did see that it was really, really low on antifreeze. That's why it turned off. It has a little sensor. It gets below that sensor, the truck will shut off. It's like a safety feature to keep the engine from getting burned up. So I just filled it back up, restarted it, and just a big old cloud of white smoke came pouring out of the exhaust. And I was like, no, it's me. And I just had to try to sleep the rest of the night with the truck off. And I made it home. I limped it home like that. 450 miles. Had to stop probably 4 or 5 times to refill it. But I was not going to get it fixed in Houston and wait God knows how long to get a cracked head or, you know, busted head gasket. I was like, I'm going to get this thing home and get it fixed there where I can go home and just wait. And I was bound and determined not to call a wrecker up. So got it back home. I took it to Freightliner. I didn't know any better at that point. This was like my first year of trucking, and I don't go Freightliner anymore for repair work, but you know, I just didn't know anybody. So went to Freightliner and they checked it out, said I had a cracked head. It was like, great. And you know, I wasn't used to semi-truck prices at that point. I was used to car prices. So I was like, oh, cracked head, it's probably going to be $4 or $5 grand. They came back with me, said it's going to be $13,500. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I had to sell my Mustang. That killed me, having to sell that car, because I just paid it off. I had it paid off for like a year, and that was, I think that was either 5 or 6 years I'd been paying on that car, $547 a month. So I was enjoying not having any payments on it, and then I had to turn around and sell it. But it went for a good cause. Kept the business going. Port of entry closed. It is 11:08. Welcome to Laramie. That's where I'm at, boys. Laramie. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Laramie, Wyoming. That sounds right? Laramie? How else would you say it? We'll have to go around a little loop. Man, we're going to be going against the wind, so it's going to kind of suck. Story of my life. Oh, that's a neat little Humvee. Look at that. I like that. This is one of those areas you can't tell what's uphill or downhill. On I-80. Set this bad boy to about 68, 69. Let's see how many miles I got. 125 miles till I get off on my exit. Pretty good little drive. I think the total mileage from Oklahoma City up here to my destination is just a little over 1,000 miles. I think it's like 1,030 miles. Good 3-day trip. 2-day trip with guys with paper logs. Oh, man. I think this might be one of the states where they close, or where they don't allow you to pull. It's either doubles or triples. I know triples for sure. You know, if it's too windy, they'll have like the lights flashing. Now in Oklahoma, they don't give a crap. And I pull doubles and triples all the time. Sometimes I pull double 48 footers. And as long as I was going north or south, which was mainly the direction I was going, if I pulled those trailers, it wasn't too bad. Because you were either going, you know, against the wind or with the wind. But if I had to go east or west, across 40, yeah, that's a different story. But man, those triples, boy, they get to they get to doing that where they wiggle around on you, especially if they would the rear trailer was heavier than the front ones, which you're supposed to have the heaviest up front and then the lightest at back. Sometimes there was just no way around it. And that back trailer would be like a dang wrecking ball back there. I'd have to kind of stay way to the right. People behind me would be kind of hesitant to pass. And sometimes they pull real nice. They pull real nice and straight the whole way. A lot of it just depended on the dolly and the trailer too. Sometimes, man, you could have them set up just right to where your front trailer was the heaviest and middle was lighter than that, and then your rear trailer was the lightest, and they would still move around on you. I guess I'll let this guy over. Well, never mind that. I'm about to pass up this guy. Jeez, dude's doing like 50 miles an hour. Man. Come on, somebody let me in. There we go. Truck driver let me in. Old Dodge is struggling, boys. Must be a heavy load. This truck is a Freightliner Columbia 2007 model. It's the 112, which means it's a snub nose, because you got the 120 and then you got the 112. At 120, the nose is a little bit longer. So with mine, half the motor sits underneath the windshield, which is kind of a pain in the ass if you got to do motor work, like an overhead or something, or put on a new head. It's a pain. I wish mine had the longer nose on it. There's DOT on the other side, bothering people at the rest stop. This is why you can't even stop at the rest stops and take your 10-hour break, because I'm going to get me cussing on here. Because DOT will sit there and bother you, freaking knock on your door in the middle of the night, give you an inspection. It should be illegal. If I'm on my off-duty time, then they can F off as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, they'll sit there and bother people at the rest stop. I'm trying to get sleep. I'm trying to get rest so I'm not tired the next day. I don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night. Some dude with a flashlight banging on my door. And it's kind of scary too. You never know who that could be. So I try not to park at rest stops because they like to do that. I either park at my delivery, which is usually in the middle of nowhere, or at a truck stop, or at a Walmart. Walmarts are always good too. But yeah, rest stops, DOT loves to bother people at rest stops. And you can see it on the reviews, because I was trying to find a rest stop last night. Because it's so hard to find anywhere to park north of Denver. There's like a Love's and there's another truck stop, but they fill up really early. And I got lucky. That I found a spot at Love's. It was a spot that was kind of hidden that nobody really knew about. It was way back in a cul-de-sac. But I was trying to find find like a good rest stop, and I was reading the reviews, and on every single one of them, people were saying, don't stop at this rest stop. DOT will bother you. DOT will give you an inspection. Plus, they were saying there's a lot of four-wheelers there that mess up the parking and make it to where it's just hard to get a good spot. You might even wake up and you're blocked in, because people in four-wheelers, which is just people in cars and SUVs and pickups, who've never driven a semi, they don't realize sometimes when they park a certain way that they're completely blocking a truck driver from getting out, or from maybe backing out. It just doesn't compute in their head. It's happened to me at Walmart before. Always got to get out and just make sure that some idiot didn't park, right behind me or right in front of me or something. But this truck, God, got me on a rant about DOT. This truck, like I said, 2007 Freightliner Columbia 112. It's got the CAT C13 A-Cert motor with a KCB serial number. Boys, this is the last of its kind. The last one to not have all the emissions crap on it. CAT, I believe, continued putting motors in trucks until 2010, and then from 2008 to 2010 was when they that was the bad ones. That you do not want to have a CAT motor between 2008 to 2010. I've heard they're an absolute nightmare to work on. They got just emissions crap all over them. And and then they just stopped in 2010. CAT was kind of trying to go their own way with the emissions stuff, trying to do their own thing, a little different than everybody else. I don't know. I guess it just didn't work out. I've heard that they're back in the game, though. I'm not sure that they might be making some motors for highway trucks now. Such a gray area with your truck as far as it being considered your home, because to me it is. It's considered your home, and for some people they don't even have, like, they don't live anywhere but their truck, so they might have their mail going to somebody they know, like their mom or maybe their sister or brother or something. So as far as I'm concerned, the truck is their home. That's their I mean, you can't have your truck as your address, but it is your home. But it's technically not when it comes to things such as having a gun, because you do have to have it locked away and out of reach, which kind of makes it pointless to have it there in the first place. And then some states don't even recognize the whole reciprocity thing. You go to New York or California and you get pulled over, they might not recognize Oklahoma's gun laws. They're probably not going to. So I don't know. And then with, like I was saying a while ago, when you're off duty and you're sleeping, as far as I'm concerned, it should be illegal for DOT to come and bother you, because that's your off duty time. You're not at work. You're sleeping. But they do it. They'll say they don't do it, but they do. And it'd be like, kind of going back to my point of the truck being considered your home. It's not really, because DOT can't just come and knock on your door at your house and well, I say that, they probably could, but they don't. Let's just say that. They don't just, when you're at home, they don't just knock on your door and say, take me to your truck, I want to do an inspection. You know, not yet. But, yeah, that's because that's your home, that's your safe haven. And as far as I'm concerned, when you're asleep and you're on your 10-hour break, that is your safe haven. And you should be protected from any, from DOT, from them doing what I would consider an unlawful inspection. You just got to make sure you. I have heard from some guys, if you're up in the front seat, then they'll be like, oh, you're in the driver's seat, so they'll consider that to be on duty. So just make sure you're in the back. That still doesn't mean they're not going to come up and knock on your door and try to get you to step out of the vehicle. And as soon as you're out of the truck, yeah, they're going to give you that inspection. A lot of gray areas. I don't like gray areas. I like it whenever things are very distinct, very transparent. I don't like it whenever the DOT just gets to decide things. I don't like that. Well, I'm going to end this stream for now. My wife's calling me. I'll get back with y'all whenever I get off I-80. Maybe we'll see some pretty scenery up there. I don't know. This is pretty flat up here. Good chatting with you guys. Thanks for watching. I'm down to like hardly anybody watching this anyway at this point. So for the few people who are watching it, thank you. We'll see you here in a little bit.